Welcome, my dear students, for today's session. Yesterday's session, we've already seen how to adjust calls in arrears when it comes to issue of shares unit. Moving forward to the next adjustment in the unit, that is calls in advance. So, what is calls in advance? Let's note the meaning. Advance itself tells an early payment. So, when any shareholders pays early, no, before the call notice has been sent, that is generally called as in advance. So let's understand the meaning by going through the statement also. Sometimes shareholders pay a part or whole of the amount of calls not yet made. The meaning is when we come to the third stage, that is call stage, before the company sends the call notice to the shareholders, what happens is few shareholders will come forward on themselves and they make the payment in advance. What happens at such situation is the amount so received from the shareholders is known as calls in advance amount. Where do we show this particular adjustment in the journal entries is what happens is when you receive some amount in advance before you give a notice or before you give a call stage notice, that becomes a liability for the company. Hence, the liability has always, no, it should always be credited to calls in advance account in the journal entries. Yesterday, I've made it clear calls in arrears should always be debited to the calls account, and here calls in advance should always be credited to the calls account. Remember this. So, remembering this keynote, let's see a question and a analysis on this particular adjustment. So this is the question how it goes. A Konica Limited registered with an authorized equity capital of 2 lakhs. So I've made it very clear in the previous classes. Authorized capital is the license that the company takes with the capital. Hence, now it is left to the company whether they should issue whole of this 2 lakhs or they should divide it into various parts and then issue a part of it. So here also Konica Limited, what they're doing is they've taken the authority for 2 lakhs. Later they've divided into 2000 shares of 100 each. Out of this 2000, they've issued to the people or to the public for purchases only 1000 shares. So the public has an opportunity to purchase only 1000 shares at rupees 100 each. So when we give journal entries, the value, total shares value or the total shares that has been issued, that this 1000 has to be considered. Remember this. Now let's see how this 100 rupees is being collected in the various stages. They're telling rupees 25 on application, rupees 30 on allotment, and rupees 20 on first call, and the balance amount, whatever that is so left, that is another 25 rupees. See, out of 100 rupees, you can check out 25, 30, and 20. Another 75 rupees, another 25 rupees is the balance that has been left. But they've not mentioned whether they're calling it for the next call or not. They're very clearly telling when required, we'll go for the next call. Now, the next paragraph, the allotment amount was received in full. So, up to allotment, we didn't have any issues. So, up to allotment, it is 55 rupees out of 100 rupees that we have received. But when the first call was made, now the first call was made on rupees 20. They're trying to tell us in the first call stage, one shareholder failed to pay the amount on 100 shares held by him. So here it is very clear, one shareholder who was holding 100 shares didn't come back and pay the value of first call, that is rupees 20 on 100 shares. Next statement, this is one adjustment, remember, underline and keep it in mind. Going to the next adjustment, another shareholder, so this is the second shareholder who's holding or purchased 50 shares, paid the entire amount on his shares. So what happens here is, up to first call, you can see 75 rupees was what we have collected. The balance, another 25 rupees, if you add, then it will be amounting to rupees 100. So what they're trying to tell us, the second shareholder who was having 50 shares, who has subscribed 50 shares, he has paid the whole 100 rupees. That is, for until first call, he has paid 75. and in this stage only he has paid another 25 rupees also. So in advance you're receiving 50 shares value for 25 rupees. Remember this. The company did not make any other call. So this is again a very important statement. They're very clearly telling the company has not made any further calls. So let's stop it here and see the next statement. Give the necessary journal entries in the books of the company to record these share capital transactions. So we'll have to see the journal entries, how we will have to give. First two stages, that is application and allotment, it is very clear. No any kind of adjustments that has been there. You can only give just two journal entries in the application stage and allotment stage that we have been seeing in the previous classes. Even on the first call, it is simple, but only thing is you'll have to adjust calls in arrears and calls in advance of 100 shares and 50 shares in this particular stage. There is no final call stage or final call journal entries because they're clearly mentioning the company has not made any further calls for the company. So let's see the question solution. So going further, the solution is first stage, application stage. We've already made it clear that they're collecting 25 rupees. So for 25 rupees into 1000, you'll be getting 25,000. We are giving two journal entries, one for receiving the application money, the other one for transferring the application money to the equity share capital account, as we have already discussed a lot many times on this journal entries. So let's brief it up. This is enough. It is as simple. Now going to the next stage, that is allotment stage. Again, two journal entries, as simple as that. One for making the allotment money due, another one for receiving the allotment money. So this also, we are collecting 30 rupees in the allotment stage. 30 into 1000, you're getting 30,000 and 30,000. This is the value we have written. Now going to the first call stage. This is important. Now first call stage, when you go through, it is very clearly telling you that in the first call stage, there is one shareholder who is not paying you for 100 shares. There is one more adjustment telling you that there is one more shareholder who has already paid you in advance before making the further call. So both the adjustments has to be adjusted in the bank entry of the call stage. The first entry, it is very clear. We are giving this entry for making the first share call account due, equity share first call account to equity share capital account. How much we were supposed to receive? That is rupees 20. You can go back to the question and see it is rupees 20. So 20 into 1000, 20,000, 20,000. This is what we were supposed to receive. But what happens is one shareholder has not paid, the another shareholder has already paid us in advance. So we will have to adjust both here. So coming to the next last important journal entry, that is bank account debit bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit to equity share first call account to calls in advance. This is how the journal entry will be. In the previous class, I've already made you clear how calls in arrears adjustment has to be debited. Now in this question, we'll have to see how calls in advance has to be credited. Bank account, it is very clear you were supposed to receive 20,000, but before filling the value, fulfill the credit entries here. So how much you were supposed to receive from the first call? It is 20,000, that is 20 rupees into 1000. Now in the calls in advance account, what happens is one more shareholder has paid advance amount for 50 shares. 50 shares, what was the balance value? 25 rupees. 50 into 25, you're getting 1250 rupees that you've already received. So along with this 20,000 that you were supposed to receive, you're also receiving 1250 rupees in advance now. So both put together, credit amount that you have now is 21,250. Out of 21,250, what happens is there is one more shareholder who has not paid value for 100 shares in the first call. What was the first call value? 20. 20 into 100, you're getting 2000. So 21,000 total credit amount minus this 2000, the remaining value you will be getting, that is actual amount that you're receiving in the bank, will be 19,250. So this is how we give calls in arrears and calls in advance in one single problem. Students, this is also a simple problem. Try understanding. For any other further doubts, you can always ping me or call me individually and ask for your further doubts. Going forward, you have one assignment question on the same adjustment that we have done right now. So every day you will have one assignment question. Please fulfill that and go through. If you have any queries, please call back. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.